Like I said, Mr. Santa Muhammad is my name, and I need prayers. Is it okay? But like I said, let it be who? Be me. I am not going to be very. I'm going to be brief. Is it okay? And I'll begin by highlighting what makes a good school. I want us to reflect, use this session to reflect, do self-reflection and self-examination. Is it okay? At the end of the day, you can always try to take and see whether we are fairly well. What makes a good school? And the first one is good leadership. This one has a lot of many elements, but we shall try to explain them as we go along. Good leadership with a clear vision, mission, and objectives, well understood by everybody. We should all know where we are going as leaders. In 5 years, in 10 years, this is where I want to be. If people know where they are going, they can be very what? Very organized, and you can really be hardworking. There'll be a lot of teams if people know where they are what? They are going. Then emphasis on high standards. I'm not talking about academic getting first grade. No. I'll talk about that one as we go along. Emphasis on high standards, whether in terms of discipline, in terms of academics, in terms of efficiency, but emphasis on high what? Whatever you do, your standards must be high. I always tell people that this world is after competence. This world is after what? Competence. People who are competent, those are the people who benefit or who grow in this what? In this earthly world. Then the other one, well-defined financial source and good financial management. Well-defined financial source and good financial management. Should know, be very clear on the sources of finance and how you manage your financial affairs. Then the other one, conducive environment. A conducive environment for learning. A conducive environment for learning. It must be there. Of course, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the environment, in terms of facilities, in terms of the people, then well-planned and resilient curriculum. Well-planned and resilient curriculum. A curriculum that considers giving students knowledge, information, skills, and what? Values. So that's what education is all about. Education has never been about getting first grades. Is it okay? Education is all about imparting knowledge. That's one. Number two, giving information to students. Number three, promoting skills among the what? The children. And number four, promoting what? Values. So that's the education I'm talking about. Well-planned and resilient curriculum, which caters for all those, for knowledge, for information, for skills and what? Values. Then the other one, good working relationships between stakeholders, the board of governors, the PTA, the staff, the parents, the greater community, that is the parents, the greater community, the neighborhood. There must be good working relationships. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. They must be in good books with the what? With the neighbors. Then the other one, staffing and staff development. I must commend the administration of this school for thinking about this kind of thing. It is all this kind of thing normally happens among corporate companies. Every week they have what they call a prayer what? Breakfast. Is it okay? Every week they have a prayer what? Breakfast. Even if it is 10, even if it is 15 minutes, people must always be reminded all the time, all the time. So, because what matters is not only knowledge, information is important because information is a source of wisdom. And what? Information provides you with what? With wisdom. Is it okay? So, this kind of thing is important. And I'd like to commend the administration and you people for really turning up. You need this information, you need this knowledge so that you can develop your what? Your skills. So, staffing, there must be staffing and staff development in a good school so that people are always reminded. That's how they can grow. Then there must be guidance and counseling. I'm glad there is a person in charge of guidance and what? And counseling. But make sure you promote your skill. Read as much as possible. Get as much information as possible. You can get this information from fellow teachers. You can get this information from journals. You can get this information from books, but make sure your knowledge is always what? Updated, because everything is changing all the time. Then school amenities. School amenities. A good school must have school amenities. School amenities, infrastructure, the toilets, everything. School amenities must be good. Then management of change. There must be a way. There must be a system of how change is what? The school is undergoing a lot of changes. People must be willing and receptive to these new what? Ideas. I think this is my third time to come here. But whenever I come, I find something what? New. And that is good. I commend you, by the way. So there must be a system, there must be a mechanism of how this change is what? Is managed. Otherwise, some people might resist it. And resistance of change is part and parcel of what? Of life. Is it okay? So there must be that continuous. Then the school, the other aspect of a good school is minding so much about the school and the greater community. There must be a relationship between the school and the greater community. There must be a relationship between the school and the greater community. Sometimes the students can be taken to the market to clean the markets, to clean the road. Is it okay? To be a part and parcel of the local church, to be part and parcel of the mosque. It is important that the school is part of it. Because at the end of the day, these are your clients. Is it okay? These are your clients. Then the other one is high discipline and moral fabric. Should be so mindful about discipline and moral fabric. Must be doing something on a daily basis. Then finally, safety and security. The school must be secure. For instance, presence of askari or security people, presence of a fence, and even what you do. The parent must be secure that I take my child to Kataleka Messe, my child will come back what? Safely. No pregnancy, no what. You must be able to manage those ones. That's why there must be a lot of counseling and what? And guidance. A lot of talking so that the children are secure. Because security doesn't mean theft and what? No. The person. Avoiding pregnancy, making sure that students complete the what? Somebody comes here in senior 1, is able to do what? Complete up to senior what? Up to senior 4 or senior 6. Then the 7 pillars of a good school are the following. The 7 pillars of a good school. And I said I'm going to be fast so that we can cover what I plan to do what? To cover. At an opportune moment, you can always brainstorm in the staff meetings and then see how far you do what? Be fair. The 7 pillars, 1, it is the head teacher. The teacher, remember the head teacher is the person who provides the strategic what? Direction. Must be a good head teacher. Must be a strategic head teacher. Then the staff. Must be head teacher, must be staff. Then the teacher. Then the student leaders. These are all leaders in the school. The head teacher, the staff, the teacher, the student leader. There must be activities in the school, for instance, in terms of sports, in terms of debate, career guidance. Because we talked about the school as an institution that provides knowledge. Is it okay? Information, skills, and what? Values. All those must be catered for in what? In a school. So there must be sports. There must be talent development. Is it okay? There must be talent development. Every other day, there must be talent development. Because I always tell people wherever I go that everybody in this earthly world, on this globe, was born with a what? With a talent. Many of these ones are not academically very good. Let us accept, isn't it? But everybody must be good in something. Is it okay? Let's try to identify what each of our students is good at. Some of them could be good in talking. Let's develop that skill. Is it okay? Some of them could be good in football. Let's develop it. Is it okay? Because if you emphasize so much academic, we might lose the point. There's a school, I always talk about it, which had a motto that getting a first grade here is the what? Is guaranteed. Mr. Julie, I think you remember. I took away my child from that school. I said, no, my child, I don't want my child to be part of it. Because at the end of the day, they will cheat exams, forcing first grades where they are not supposed to be. Is it okay? Let's develop students. They are what? Talents. And I always say that you do 9 things to develop that talent into a what? A skill. The first one is train. You can use these facilities to train the students. Is it okay? Number 2, practice. Let them practice. Number 3, getting a role model. Be role models for these what? Children. Number 4, be their mentors. Is it okay? Number 5, let's use them to become problem solvers. They can solve problems in the what? In the school. Then let's encourage them to read about their talents and to listen to people who do them. So the activities, sports, debate, career guidance, and so on. Then humor is the 7th pillar. The 6th pillar. Every school, there must be humor. Is it okay? Because when you promote humor, you are trying to accommodate everyone. Is it okay? Not everybody is going to get a first grade. So there must be humor. That's why in all my presentations, there is always a lot of humor. I'll do any other thing, but at least I must promote what? Humor. Let's also promote humor. Laugh with the students. Is it okay? Share a lot with them. Now, briefly, problems facing schools today. Problems facing schools today. And many of these schools have these problems. 1, managing challenges of the 21st century students. Managing challenges of the 21st century students is the biggest problem all schools. That's why the disciplinary committees of schools are always very busy. They are trying to manage what? Challenges of the 21st century what? Students. Then limited resources due to poverty. All schools, there's no school that gets enough. And I think as administrators or leaders, we know it. I always tell people that 90% of head teachers in secondary school have developed high blood pressure or diabetes or ulcer, simply because of a limited resource what? Envelope. Number 3, persistent conflicts among stakeholders. There will always be there. Persistent conflicts among stakeholders. Many of these, either the board, either the PTA, and it can also happen, especially in these schools of ours, which we have started as a community what? Schools. Many of these schools, which are the community schools, have a lot of challenges because the people who started it want to remain in what? In control. And yet, they don't have a slot on the board or on the what? At least in law, Education Act, it is not there. The moment somebody takes the school to government, it becomes a government what? Property. But they always want to remain controlling the resources. Is it okay? Either somebody wants to remain a chairman. I know of a school where when capitation comes, because somebody donated land, it takes 50%. I remember when I was in Serwanga Luanga, because that school was started member of the Lieutenant Colonel Serwanga Luanga, former principal private secretary, the president. The family wanted to control the school. Good enough, they died. But they want to control. Is it okay? For them, don't tell them that, no. They say, this is my what? School. And it's a problem head teachers normally face. So there's a limited resource envelope, and then persistent what? Conflicts. It is the duty of the head teacher and the leaders to manage that what? Conflict. Is it okay? He has just told me about the problems of the land. Now that the people are seeing the school starting to do what? To take off. Is it okay? Now they are saying, this is what we have been waiting for. Is it okay? They are not bothered because the school was what? Because always growth and development has that challenge. And you are going to grow up with that one until all of you leave this place. Must be very clear on that one. Because now the people think, now this school has what? Has money. Whatever they were forgiving, they are saying, no, there is money now. Because every day they are seeing something what? It's a very big challenge. Said Master, it's a very big challenge. As you grow, you get more challenges. Is it okay? So, persistent conflict. Then the other problem is limited community engagement and support. Much of our community don't want to help the what? The schools. Because there's money in the what? In the school. Don't tell them where it is a USC school or what. They think there is what? Money. And they want money. Is it okay? So limited community engagement. Then the other, limited access to continuous professional development. Limited access to continuous professional development. Just imagine our school, Catholic Messi. Somebody wants to upgrade. It needs a lot of money. There must be transport. Even if somebody enrolls for a degree, is it okay? Somebody needs transport. Even if it is a weekend program, somebody needs what? So there's always that challenge facing the what? The teachers. And you must upgrade. Professionally, you must. Then the other one is shortage of qualified and trained teachers. Shortage of qualified and trained teachers. It's a very big challenge. It's a very big challenge. Then inadequate school infrastructure. I don't want to believe that you have enough infrastructure. Inadequate school what? Infrastructure. Then lack of access to technology and digital resources. Now we are with lower secondary curriculum. You must be able to access digital what? Technology, because much of the literature is on what? Much of the literature is on what? Is on internet. So there's no way you can dodge it. And then of course, physical distance to the school. Many of these students walk long distances. Many of them walk long, and it's something which you must do away with, or you must grapple with. A child walks 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. By the time the child is already at school, is already what? Exhausted and tired. They come late to school simply because they come from what? I have a lot of self-discipline with phones. Even me, if it rings, I can't pick it because I have self-discipline with phones. Then teenager pregnancy and the early marriage. Our fine. We need to get somebody over fine. Teenager pregnancy and early marriages. Then the other one, absenteeism of teachers and students. It's a common problem and challenge. Absenteeism of teachers and students is a very big challenge. It's a problem facing many of our schools. There's always a reason. The teachers forget. What the teachers forget is that when you think about the reason, it will always be there. It will always be what? Be there. Then the other one is diseases, of course. Diseases like asthma, ulcers. Many of our children suffer from these what? Diseases. We need to find a way. Then let's disbursement of funds from government. Like for instance, this is the US school. The term has begun. Has money come? Not yet. And the school is expected. The school starts spending money the day you do what? Even before. In fact, the school spends money throughout the what? The year. Throughout the year, whether it is holiday or what? The school must spend money. The teacher must find a way to get the money. And that's a very big challenge. Whether it is buying chalk, whether it is transport, whether it is airtime, whether it is data, the school must spend money from the first day of January up to 31st what? December. It's a challenge, and it's a problem facing schools today. Then lack of professionalism among management and staff. Lack of professionalism among management and staff. Of course, professionalism is doing things right. Doing the right thing. As a what? As a teacher or as an administrator. Professionalism. Poor time management is another challenge facing schools today. And then the other one, some stakeholders do not understand their roles. Whether it is the board, whether it is the PTA, whether it is the head teacher, whether it is the deputy, whether it is whether it is the parents, whether it is government. Some people do not understand their what? You can find the chairman, the board of governors being there, wants to manage the what? A project at what? At school. You can find the chairman, PTA, because there is money in the budget for buying a tank. He wants to get the money to go and buy what? A tank. Is it okay? So, and it happens in many of our schools. Some stakeholders don't understand their role. They don't know. Then, ineffective school management and leadership. Good enough, we are all leaders. Ineffective school management and leadership. Normally, they always say that if it starts rotting from the what? From the head, isn't it? Ineffective school management and leadership. Then the other challenge facing schools today is the inadequate monitoring and evaluation systems. We shall look at all these ones as we go along. Ineffective monitoring and evaluation systems. Monitoring leaves a lot to be desired. Evaluation needs a lot to be desired. I can just give you an example of performance appraisals. People don't want to be what? Appraised. It becomes a problem at the end of the year. People don't know that one way to improve is for you to be what? Evaluated. You must be evaluated. You must be evaluated. At the end of whether you are doing something good or bad, but there must be some mechanism of somebody telling that, thank you so much for this. Can you improve on this area? Is it okay? It must be there. Then the other challenge is limited collaboration. Limited collaboration and partnership among stakeholders. There are very many schools where the board of governors does its own thing. The PTA does its own thing. Tebagala kolachi kumanya. The old students do their own thing. And that's a very big challenge. Then another challenge, the violence and aggressiveness among the staff and the students. Violence and aggressiveness among the staff and the students. And then the other, some administrators are not equipped with administrative skills. Some administrators are not equipped with administrative skills. Back then, back in the day, for us, unless the minister was doing something to do what? To give us workshops. Whenever they would appoint you as a head teacher, you'd be given what? Workshops for induction. They teach about everything, about team building, about monitoring and evaluation, about financial management. But these days, somebody is a teacher of physics and math, somebody is a teacher of history, somebody becomes a head teacher and they say, that is your office. Is it okay? With no induction, with no support. And then that's where many of the schools get challenges. So some administrators are not equipped with administrative skills. Then the other, lack of communication and information flow. Lack of communication and information flow. That's a challenge. And those are problems facing schools what? Today. And as leaders, kind of take time off and brainstorm on some of them and find a way of how you can address them. Then the other aspect I wanted to, before I delve into how to solve some of these challenges, are the challenges of the 21st century students. Challenges of the 21st century students. Whether you like it or not, these challenges are there. Of course, drugs, violence, pregnancies, early marriages, time wastage, drugs, you know the examples of drugs, students say, you know the violence, pregnancies, early marriages, time wastage on football, time wastage on phones, on social media. Then diseases like asthma. This is very common among students. Then many come from child-led families. You can imagine. Many come from child-led families. Many of these children we teach, they are not okay. They are not okay. If they sat down to tell you what they go through, and those are the experiences you expect to teach, sometimes it is difficult. Then peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure, obscenity. Many of them are obscene simply because of where they come from. Their parents are as obscene as they are. Their parents are always violent, so the traits are always passed on. Then immorality, then poor family background, One time I made an attempt to visit homes where many of these children come.
What I've learned is that as we identify a problem, then we need to get more information where exactly the problem may be coming from, and so that as we're thinking of a solution, you already have enough information about the cause of the problem and how it came about.
The what would have been the questions, you were again giving us some of the solutions. And we have learned that there are those which have to let go beyond our control. And so I'm so grateful.
You are what?
I'm grateful.
Yes,